Hello, this is part 3 of lecture on chapter 9. We were discussing this Okun's law, right? Okun's law is a measure. This concept was developed to to calculate, to find out the cost of unemployment to the economy. You see, when people are unemployed, they are not producing any output. That output is forever lost to the society, right? So even if those unemployed people are employed in the future, the loss of output that the society suffers, as long as these people were unemployed, is gone. There's no way to recover it. So it's a economic cost of unemployment. Sir Arthur Okun, he was a famous economist and worked with the Bureau of Economic Analysis. He studied data for a long time, data of unemployment and GDP and potential GDP, and he find out that for every 1% of cyclical unemployment creates a 2% GDP gap, right? So let us take a look at this. Look at this one. Let us give you an example for this one. So you see, this is saying, we are saying that for every 1% cyclical unemployment, so if actual unemployment is say 9%, and NRU, remember, NRU is the unemployment rate when based on only frictional unemployment and structural unemployment. And in NRU unemployment, we assume that cyclical unemployment is zero, right? But in actual unemployment, we have all three components. We don't assume that cyclical unemployment is zero when we are talking about actual unemployment. Therefore, the difference between this actual unemployment is 9% and NRU is supposed to say 5%, right? Percent. Then cyclical unemployment. Employment is what? Is 4%, right? That is the difference between actual and unemployment rate and NRU. So if the difference is 5%, if cyclical unemployment is 5%, then Okun's law is telling us what? GDP gap will be what? GDP gap will be negative 8% of GDP. 8% of GDP. See, actual GDP. Remember, so that is what the Okun law says, that if for every 1% cyclical unemployment, there will be a 2% of GDP gap, right? 2% of actual GDP gap. So that is what we have here. So let us examine the data. In this slide, we have GDP gap from 1989 to 2009 is given on the horizontal axis. On the vertical axis, we have GDP, billions of 2000 GDP, billions of 2005 dollars. You see that? Now the red line is showing us potential GDP. That is GDP with NRU when we assume we assume cyclical unemployment is zero. On the other hand, the blue line is showing us the actual GDP based on actual unemployment rate. See, and look at that. Whenever that potential GDP is that red line is higher than the blue line. So say 1991, 1992. In this area, we have a GDP gap. See, negative GDP gap. On the other hand, whenever that blue line is above that red line, so we have positive GDP gap, right? And so whenever we have recession, like in 2007, 2009, unemployment rate was very high. So actual GDP, the blue line fall below the potential GDP, and look at this yellow shaded area in here. That shows us the size of the GDP gap. And of course, GDP gap was negative, always negative in the recession. Now let us compare this information with the next slide. Look here, this one is showing us the actual unemployment rate, right? So this is not NRU, this is the actual unemployment rate. So whenever unemployment is high, look at that end in 2007, 2009. In this around this year, right, 2007, 2009, unemployment rate is high, and if we go back to the previous slide, look at that 2007, 2009. In this area, what happens? We know we have negative GDP gap, right? The blue line falls below the red potential GDP line, right? Also, let us look at 1991, 1992. Here again, unemployment is high. Unemployment is high, and then 1992, beginning in 1992, unemployment rate almost 8%, right? So look at that. Whenever 1992, look at the negative GDP gaps. See, so so the model that we have examined in the Okun's law checks out, right? So whenever we have cyclical unemployment, whenever we have recession, we actual output less than potential GDP, and then we have what negative negative gap, right? GDP gap. Now this is unequal burden. So see, not everyone in this society suffer from unemployment in the same way. Some people suffer more than others. So unemployment rate affects different section of the population in different ways. So let us take a look at this. This is 2007 information for 2007. This is like a normal year before the Great Recession started, and this is in the middle, the last year of the recession, 2009. See, so this 2007 is, you can say that this is a normal year, full employment year, and then this is what in 2009 we have what, a recession year, right? So overall national level unemployment was 4.5, 4.6 in 2007, but in 2009, look, it jumped to 9.3, right? So overall occupation, managerial and professional is 2.1, and then in 2000, and then construction and extraction is 7.6. So see, manager and professional, they suffer much less unemployment compared to the construction and extraction workers. But then that also, this 2.1 doubled to 4.6, right? And then construction and extraction jumped to what? So from 7.6 to 19.7 between 2007 and 2009. So this was indeed, 19.7 was indeed very high. Now let us look at the next one is what? Age distribution of unemployment. So 16 to 19, they suffer more, 15.7 compared to 4.6 national. See, national average 4.6, and for only this 16 to 19, 15.7. Then the next one 24.3, and then this national average is is what, 9.3. See that white is 29.4, and then in 2009 39.5. See, so so within the same age group we are looking at what, different within the same age group, different race, right? Male more than 20, so this is across gender. Unemployment rate is what? Unemployment rate was male is 4.1. See, almost national average. Female almost national average. But in the recession, look at the male unemployment in 2009 jumped from 4.1 in 2007 to 9.6 2009, right? And then again female also increased from 4 to 7.5, right? Now look at that. So you can similarly you can interpret all the others. Let us now look at this education. See, for this education we have less than high school diploma unemployment rate 4.4, almost equal to the national level, right? But then for 2009 unemployment is 9.7, jumps from 4.4 to 9.7, and year is what? Year is 2009, right? And then high school diploma only unemployment is 2, so half of the national average in 2007, and then jumps to 4.6, which is also after half of the national average for 2009 for that year. So you see it is much better, but to be educated, if you more educated people are less what? Are less unemployed. Then duration 15 or more weeks. 15 or more weeks is 1.5 unemployment rate, and then in 2009 it is 4.7. See, so in 2007 if someone become unemployed, it takes about he remain unemployed uh, even after 15 weeks, only 1.5% remain unemployed. See, but in 9.3, right? Even after 15 weeks, 4.7% remain unemployed. So the longer the duration of unemployment, the heavier will be the burden of unemployment, right? So that is that was the picture in 2009 in the Great Recession, right? Now, what about the non-economic costs of unemployment? Unemployment doesn't only impose a monetary cost; it has non-monetary cost. So, like this loss of skill and loss of self-respect. The worker is unemployed; he has no job, so he's losing his skills, right? And if time goes by, he will lose more and more. And also, he's not earning any money. He has lack of opportunity. He's a pessimist. So he may suffer from lower self-esteem, lower self-respect, right? Then plummeting morale, then family disintegration. There may be family tension. If the breadwinner in the family is out of job, is unemployed, he cannot earn money, provide for other members of the family, so there may be family problem. Poverty and reduced hope. Poverty will increase when income is low because of unemployment. Then heightened racial and ethnic tensions in times of recession, economic crisis, political, racial crisis are often may set up, right? So different group of this community may start to may start to have trouble with other group of the community during times of economic hardship. Limited economic opportunities, everybody may not get equal share, and that may be another cause of what? Racial tension or ethnic tension, right? Now suicide, homicide, fatal heart attack, and mental illness, all of these tend to increase during times of economic hardship, right? So during times of recession can lead to violent social and political change. In many countries, high unemployment rate has resulted in in the government, change in government, and in many countries through violent means, right? So voters they want to see lower unemployment rate. So if the political party in power cannot reduce the unemployment rate, voters may react and vote for in favor of the opposition party, and then the party in power will lose its position. This is global perspective on unemployment. Look at that. We have 1999, 2004, and 2009 on the horizontal axis. Look at the US, the blue line. It is lower than unemployment, lower than Germany, France, and Italy. All right, during that decade. But unemployment rate was higher than that of Japan for that decade, right? So US unemployment rate is good. Except to look at that in 2009, at the beginning of that recession, unemployment was increasing rapidly. And look at this. This line is what? This line is going up.